Today, I'm gonna show you the cheapest way to buy real estate here in the Dominican Republic. And then I'm gonna show you 8 other ways to buy that might be a little more expensive, but might fit you a little bit better. But there is a catch, and I'm gonna show you that catch in just a second. If you're new here, my name's Jamie Gruber. I moved to the Dominican Republic in 2022 with my family after quitting a high-paying job in 2021. And I share all about life, investing, real estate, and touring this beautiful country on this channel. Let's dive in. All right, I told you that there is one catch to all of this. When you're buying the cheapest property that you're gonna buy, that also ends up being the most risky property that you can buy. So what I did was I put together, ta-da! The DR Property Risk Ladder. And I'm gonna show you the least expensive property that you can buy, but how that's also the most risk, all the way down to the most costly, which is actually the least risky buy right now. Let's get started. The first level of property that you can buy that will be the least costly, but the most risky, is pre-construction without title and without permits. Right now in the Dominican Republic, a developer can get contract to a land without having the title transferred over yet, just contract to land, and still not have all the permits needed to build, which there are about 5 different ones, and go out and sell lots and or condos or apartments or whatever the development will be to you. Because there are no permits and because the title hasn't transferred, because it's so early stage, you're gonna pay the absolute least amount possible for that property. This is where you're gonna get your top best deals because they're gonna essentially use that money to make sure they're funding these deals in most cases. Funding the development, I should say, in most cases. As a result of that, that is going to be your most risky investment that you can make. But then it can get a little less risky. Let me show you. The next level down is going to be pre-construction as well, but it will be pre-construction without title or without permits, meaning it has one or the other. So you might have a property where the developer actually owns the land. They got title to the land in their name. It's good, they own it. Or the title hasn't transferred yet, but they have permits. I think you can do that. I don't think you need the title to get permits, but either way, the point is you have one or the other, not both. That means legally this thing is further along, therefore it is less risky, but it will cost you a little bit more. It's gonna be a little bit more expensive at this stage. So naturally, the next one down will be a pre-construction property that has both title and permits ready to go. This is what I would call a property or development that is legally de-risked, unless there's a lot of debt on the land that they own, but still is higher on the risk ladder. And again, it's probably gonna cost you a little bit more because now they've incurred the cost of getting these permits, all of the other things that come along with it, and so on. But for these first 3, these are your most risky, maybe a little bit less risky as you go up or as you go down, I guess, the ladder, but your cost is gonna go up. If you get it super early, it'll be the cheapest. If you get it here, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. I'm gonna make this a little faster for you because I'm gonna show you the next 4. I think it's the next 4. Yeah, the next 4 all at the same time. Check this out. As we look at what is actually less risky, it's these 4 stages of development. So you can have a pre-construction tape is gonna, I don't know if it's gonna stay on, but we'll see. You can have pre-construction properties that are, say, 20% completed. These numbers aren't like, this is nothing official. I'm just using these as 10%, 18%. The point is, whether it's 20, 40, 60, 80, the more complete the construction is, this means that title has transferred, permits are done, and 20% or 40% or 60% or 80% or 90% or 47%, whatever. The higher this number is, the less risky the property is. However, it's gonna go up in cost. As people buy this thing and they get down to a certain number of units and it's further along in development, they're going to charge more. They're going to increase the value. Often you'll hear people say you're already getting equity when you buy here, because if you buy a 1-bedroom condo for $120,000 right here, very early, taking on full risk and being fully aware of that now that you have this video, but if you do that, you're gonna get the lowest cost, most risk. But if you wait because you feel like, you know what, I wanna see this thing kind of get some traction, down here at 40, 60, 80%, that $120,000 condo might be $200,000. So what you'll hear often said here is you've got $80,000 in equity because we've sold the exact same condo that you bought up here for 120 to someone else recently, because we're almost done, for 200. So you have 80,000 in equity. Debatable if that's real because equity really is determined by will the market buy it from you. Another video for that. But the point is, the further you go along the path of pre-construction, the less risk, but the more cost. Now, let's talk about the final 2 ways to buy that are the very least risky, but the highest cost. The next one up is a resale property that you would be able to buy cash. Now, to be clear on this, cash may mean actual cash. Maybe you took money out of savings or sold some stock or whatever and took cash and bought the property. But cash in this context context could also simply mean a HELOC from the United States, from your own personal home, or a personal loan from a friend, or a loan from your 401k, or whatever it might be. You might have leverage, but not in the Dominican Republic. No debt here in DR, but you've leveraged it in order to leverage something in the US or Canada or wherever to pull out cash and buy it free and clear down here. Now, again, this is going to be more costly because it's not in the build phase. They don't need you to, fund this build as it goes. It's already built, it's done, and everything else. But of course, it's much less risky because it's finished. This whole thing along the way, the risk for you is like, is it actually going to get done? Am I going to get my money's worth? Is the price of construction going to go up? Because that does happen. Most contracts for pre-construction in the Dominican Republic include increases in price for inflation markers and that sort of thing. It's a whole other video, but you get the point. But a resale property is built nice and easy. So you might wonder, if resale purchase with cash is number 8, and I said that there's 9 levels, is there actually something less risky? There is. Before I tell you, I gotta tell you this. A lot of people looking to invest or move to the Dominican Republic struggle with some of the inefficiencies or the whole process of getting down here. It becomes frustrating and even demotivates them and kills their dreams sometimes. To overcome that, I built the DR Inner Circle. This is a community built for people looking to invest and move here, but they want it to be less risky, easier, and less costly. When you join the Inner Circle, you not only get access to a ton of articles and a ton of information, but you'll get full roadmaps for your move, checklist for your purchase, and even a community of 1,200 plus people interacting all the time in our private WhatsApp community to share knowledge, insights, tips, vendors, everything. And even if you get home at the end of the day and you don't feel like going through all of WhatsApp, we created something called D-Rod. That's DR On Demand. It's an AI chat platform that ingests all of the insights and information from not only my content, but all of our community members, so that all you have to do is search, ask questions, even ask for a summary of the most recent chat to make it super efficient and easy for you. Our members also get discounts on insurance, preferred banking relationships with lower rates, and so much more. Members live all over the Dominican Republic, all over the United States, Canada, Europe, and other parts of the world, and we even have chapters in areas where we have our most concentrated members. This QR code right here will get you access, or you can go to drinnercircle.com to take a look. You can join monthly or annual. Annual has a few other perks. Now let's get back to our last way of buying. All right, so quickly recapping, our most risky way of buying is all in the pre-construction space, and the more done the pre-construction project gets, the less risky it becomes, but the more costly. What I said for number 8, we have one more to go, that is less risky, but more costly, is if you buy a property that's resale already built and you do that with cash. But if you want to see the absolute least risky way to purchase real estate, in this guy's opinion, in the Dominican Republic, that'll also cost you the most, it's going to be resale with a Dominican mortgage. And here's why. I have to bend over for this whole thing. Let's do it like this. Here's why. One of the biggest fears people have, you're gonna get this for the rest of it. One of the biggest fears people have in buying real estate here when they're buying resale is, does the title transfer? Am I gonna be protected? Is there gonna be claims to title? Are all these things gonna happen? To be honest with you, there's a really good registry of deeds here, especially in areas that are well developed. Punta Cana, Santo Domingo, Santiago, Puerto Plata. You get out in more remote areas, maybe not as much, and I'll tell you how to overcome that here in a second. But when you finance with a mortgage, which is what I did for this house, not because I wanted to, but because the amount of home that we bought was more than what we could afford in cash, and we needed to get a mortgage. But what I learned after going through the mortgage process and then talking to some investors that invest a lot of money here, even though they have the cash, they still get mortgages, is the bank is your biggest ally. One thing that's true in the Dominican Republic is if you're afraid of the title transferring properly, of the transaction going through, of everything happening the right way and getting everything taken care of, the bank is your biggest ally. They'll never let it go sour for you. They'll never let it go bad. And even more than that, if you seek more credit in the future, well, if you get a mortgage with a bank, you open up possibilities with every other bank that sees that you got approved. In the Dominican Republic, anyone can get a mortgage, whether you're a citizen or not, a resident or not, have any legal status in the country, anyone can get a mortgage. Anyone can open a bank account in the Dominican Republic, unless you're here over 30 days without an extended visa. You have to clean that up. But beyond that, anybody can get a bank account. Anybody can buy real estate. All of it is doable for anybody. But as I said, while the mortgage might be the least risky, it's also going to cost you the most. You got to pay closing costs. You got to buy a life insurance policy on the mortgage through the bank. You have to get the top-notch property insurance, no matter what you might want, only liability and maybe contents, but you got to get it all if you have a mortgage in the Dominican Republic. But again, you think about that, you're going to have every insurance possible. You're going to have true title transfer, no worries, no issues whatsoever. You don't even have to worry about what your attorney is doing. The bank will make sure it all gets done. Now, Whether you're buying pre-construction, completed construction, with a mortgage, without a mortgage, or whatever, I'm gonna go back to my 2 ways to make sure that you're as protected as you possibly can be. Let's see if I can write here, because my handwriting's not that great. Let's put it here. Number 1, you need a realtor. And when I say a realtor, I mean a really good realtor. Don't just hire anyone that puts realtor up next to their name. Currently, there isn't licensing required in the Dominican Republic. There is licensing, but it's not required. So anyone can say they're a realtor, and they do 25 other different things, and really all they're gonna do is promote the 1 or 2 projects that said, hey, sell our stuff, we'll pay you an enhanced commission. A great realtor knows the whole market and understands the dynamics of great relationships, knowing that there's more transactions to be done in the future with that person. And there are many great realtors here. I can recommend a few to you. If you go here to JamieGruber.com/referrals or click this QR code or whatever you do, scan it. You can get my whole entire referral network and just click on whatever ones you need, realtor, lawyer, all of that good stuff. And one other quick thing, there is a law being proposed right now that'll do a couple of things. 1, it'll require realtors be licensed. And 2, it probably will eliminate these 2 possibilities, meaning a developer can't sell a project until they have full permits and they own title to the land. We'll see what happens with that if it goes through in its current form or a different form, but that is in the works. Watch it come out before I release this video. Always happens to me. All right, the second one that you need is, again, a great attorney. Realtor and attorney will mitigate risk for you. And when they work together, as many of them do, the good ones do, they do a lot for you. The attorney may want some things from the developer, and the developer doesn't like that the attorney's asking, and the realtor swoops in to make sure the attorney gets what they get. The realtor has a little bit better of a relationship perhaps with the developer. The developer sees the attorney as an adversary. So these 2 on your team significantly limit your risk in buying real estate in the Dominican Republic, especially pre-construction. The issue is people don't want to pay the attorney, or they feel they can go direct to the developer without the realtor. And if you're here and you know people and you're networking, cool, do you. Most people aren't. Most people may have family members here if they're Dominican, or they come visit quite often. But if you're not plugged in, then you need these 2 people on your team. Dominican Republic is not a DIY country. You want to make sure you have the right team members. Some people say, well, it costs too much. But to me, the problems that come up when you don't have these people on your side helping you costs way more. Just saying. Point is, have the right people on your team, have a great community like the Inner Circle that can help you with their experiences, make recommendations for you, whatever. And you can't eliminate risk in anything, but you can significantly reduce it. It's pretty good. What do you think of my ladder? I want to see what you guys think. Just drop it down below. Great ladder, Jamie. Or terrible ladder. I'll know who you are. I'll know who you are. I spent a lot of time on that, okay? I even bought the parchment paper, whatever the hell this is, to hang over there. I had to go to the store. I was out of markers, needed a scissor. I was gonna cut them up, but I didn't, so I got that instead. Looks good. Tell me it looks good. I need validation. Anyway. Yeah, this video is one that you should watch next, according to the YouTube algorithm. They think, hey, you know what? You like this one's big. You're gonna watch that one, whatever that is. Be sure to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.